Hi everyone, in today's video I'm going to be showing you how to make this coffee chocolate fudge cake. It's made with fluffy, moist layers of a coffee cake, and then it's sandwiched in between the most fudgy, decadent chocolate fudge frosting. This recipe is kind of inspired by my most viral recipe, which is the Matilda chocolate cake. I was thinking about how I can make another cake for chocolate lovers just like me and all of you, so I decided to incorporate the flavor that pairs so well with chocolate, and that's coffee. This cake is bursting with coffee flavor, and the chocolate fudge frosting works so well. Enjoy this with a cup of hot coffee and even pour some on your cake because it tastes amazing. It's very simple to make and it's made with very easily accessible ingredients, so without further ado, let's get started. The first thing that we're going to be doing is making our fluffy coffee cake layers. To start off, in a medium-sized bowl, go ahead and sift all of your dry ingredients. This includes some all-purpose flour, cornstarch, which is going to give our cake a fluffy texture, some baking powder, baking soda, along with some salt. And then I'm also going to add the main ingredient, which is the instant coffee powder. You can also use instant espresso powder, and if your espresso is in granules, just make sure to grind that up into a fine powder before using it in the recipe. Sift that and then use a whisk to give this a good mix, and then we're going to set this aside for the time being. Next, in a separate large bowl, we're going to combine together some softened unsalted butter. Make sure that your butter is super soft like this. This is what's going to make it super easy to beat with the sugar and oil. Next, I'm going to add in some flavorless vegetable oil. You can use sunflower or canola oil, and then along with that, some light brown sugar. You could also use regular granulated sugar for this recipe. I have tried it out and the cake turns out amazing both ways. I just use brown sugar to give it an extra caramelly flavor, but it's totally up to you what you want to use. I'm going to use an electric mixer to beat this on medium speed until it becomes pale and fluffy just like this. Next, we're going to add in 3 eggs at room temperature, one at a time, mixing well between each addition. Now, this recipe uses both oil and butter to get the best of both worlds. The butter gives this cake a rich, delicious flavor, while the oil keeps the cake moist for days because oil does not harden up in the fridge, which makes the cake super fluffy. You do want to make sure not to overmix at any point in this recipe. Once you've added in the eggs, we're going to add in 1 tablespoon of vanilla extract, and then we're going to add half of the buttermilk. I'm using homemade buttermilk today, and you can use store-bought or homemade. If you want to know how to make homemade buttermilk, basically you just add a tablespoon of vinegar or lemon juice for 1 cup of milk, let that sit for 5 minutes, and your buttermilk is ready to go. You're going to add half of the buttermilk now, and then use your electric mixer to give everything a good mix. Now get rid of your mixer, and then we're going to use a spatula for the remaining steps. Add in half of the pre-mixed dry ingredients from the beginning, and then use your spatula to gently fold that in. We're using a spatula instead of the electric mixer here because we don't want to get rid of all of the air that we just beat into the butter and sugar, making the cake super duper fluffy. I know I said fluffy so many times, but this cake is truly so fluffy. Next, we're going to add in the remaining buttermilk and then use your spatula to give that a good mix once again. If you love chocolate recipes, then you have to try out my Matilda chocolate cake. I have a eggless version as well. I will leave a link to both of those in the description box below. They are just so good. Now your mixture is going to look a little bit curdled at this point, and that's totally normal. When we add in the rest of the dry ingredients, everything is going to come together. Use your spatula to fold in the remaining dry ingredients until there are no longer any streaks of flour, and make sure to avoid overmixing. Doesn't that look amazing? It looks so delicious, just like a coffee cloud. The batter is ready to go. What we're going to do now is divide the batter into 3 7-inch cake pans. I have greased and lined the bottom of the pans. I actually only have 2 7-inch pans, so I'm going to be baking 2 of the cakes first, and then after those are cooled, I will bake the last one using one of the pans. You can also use 2 8-inch pans if you prefer. Once baked, you do want to let the cakes cool in the pan for at least 10 minutes before you flip them over. This step is very important. I actually didn't have time, so I flipped this one over a little bit early, and as you can see, a little bit did fall off from the corner, so you do want to make sure not to do that. I'm going to bake the last cake up as well, and then you're going to let these cool down completely before we can frost the cake. And here comes the last cake, and that peel off is always so satisfying. The next step is to make the chocolate fudge frosting. In a medium-sized saucepan placed on medium heat, we're going to add in some heavy cream. You want to make sure your heavy cream has a fat percentage of 35% or higher, otherwise this frosting is not going to set. Bring that to a gentle simmer like this, and then we're going to add in some unsalted butter, give it a little bit of a mix to melt that, and then goes in the rest of the ingredients. This includes powdered sugar, some instant espresso or coffee powder, some cocoa powder, and lots of dark chocolate. I'm going to be using couverture chocolate, which is chocolate that is made for cooking or baking, and this is the best type of chocolate to use when you're making cakes or any desserts because it is very high quality and has a very strong, rich chocolate flavor. I also threw in some vanilla extract, and we're going to cook this on medium or low flame. While mixing, you don't want to leave this unattended because the chocolate can burn on the bottom. Once everything is fully melted like this, take this off the flame. We're not going to cook this or anything like that. We just want everything to be nice and incorporated. Transfer that into a heat-proof bowl, and then we're going to cover this with some plastic wrap. You want to make sure that the plastic wrap is touching the top of the frosting like this. This prevents a skin from forming while it cools. This is what my frosting looks like after 20 minutes in the refrigerator. You do want to keep in mind that the time it takes to reach the perfect consistency is going to be different depending on a lot of factors, so you want to start checking on the frosting at around 20 minutes. Now let's make the coffee simple syrup. This is an optional step, but it's very highly recommended because it adds more coffee flavor to the cake and also makes the cakes super moist. In a small saucepan, combine water, granulated sugar, and some instant coffee powder. Give that a good mix and bring it to a simmer until the sugar is fully dissolved. And then set this aside to cool down completely before we assemble the cake. I'm going to place the first cake layer on my cake stand. You can use a turntable and a cake board, or you can even just use a large serving plate. You're going to brush on the coffee simple syrup generously like this. Let that soak for about a minute, and then you're going to add 1/4 of the frosting, which I for some reason forgot to record, and then spread that out evenly before adding the second layer of cake. Add some more coffee simple syrup on this layer, and then you're going to add another 1/4 of the frosting, spreading that out evenly. Finally, add on the last layer of cake facing downward so that the flat side is up, and then you're going to add all the remaining frosting onto the top and sides of the cake. If it's cold where you live and the frosting is hardening, don't worry, you can pop that in the microwave for around 30 seconds until it reaches a smooth consistency. And if it's too hot where you live and the frosting is becoming liquid, don't worry, stop what you're doing, put the frosting in the refrigerator for around 10 minutes until it firms up a bit, and then you can continue frosting your cake. For the decoration, I didn't want to do anything too extravagant. I mean, this is a coffee fudge cake after all, and since it's inspired by my Matilda chocolate cake, I just used an offset spatula to create these lines all over the sides and top of the cake. It was a bit difficult because I wasn't using a turntable, so they weren't very neat. A neat trick that I did and did not record was I used a hairdryer to just blow some hot air all around the cake. This melts the chocolate and gives it a shiny finish. You're going to see what it looks like in just a second. This is a shiny touch that I was talking about. Let's cut into it and see what it looks like on the inside. Doesn't that look so good? Since Valentine's Day is coming up, if you want to make something for someone that loves coffee, this is the cake that you're going to want to make because it is so, so good. And I literally can't think of any words to describe it. For some reason, the only thing I'm saying is so good, but you get what I mean. It's good. And since it's coffee cake, we have to serve it with a hot cup of coffee. Don't those layers look amazing? The soft, moist cake with that fudgy frosting, it just works so well together. The detailed recipe will be available on my website. You can also get the printable recipe there. I will leave a link to that in the description box below. I will also have a link to join my newsletter so you can get all of the news recipes sent straight to your inbox. If you found this helpful, leave a comment down below, like the video if you've liked it, and let me know what else you want to see on this channel because I am open to any ideas or recipes that you want to see. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.